Hey everyone, one of the greatest goals among all athletes I work with is to get better at beating the competition. Whether that means winning a tournament, a race, a fight, or helping their team win a championship, the competition often serves as a primary focus among athletes, coaches, and parents in all sports. So in today's video, I want to explore this area and help you understand what exactly you need to do to beat your competition. And the answer may surprise you. You definitely don't want to miss out on this. You're watching SPMI TV. So why is the competition such an important focus among most athletes and their sports community? Well, first, it offers a measurable tool towards success. This means that athletes can base their performance results off others and somewhat gauge how close or how far they are compared to their peers and compared to the elites in their sport. But is this performance metric accurate for all athletes? Well, for many coaches and scouts, it appears to be the single most important metric in determining whether an athlete has what it takes and whether or not they're recruitable for the next level. Just look at all the top sports and how they determine selection, such as the NBA, NFL, MLB, and NHL draft. Or take other examples, such as college recruiting and how they look up stats and performance metrics from various recruiting websites. And then, of course, there's the ranking system among many sports where athletes are ranked in their state, region, country, or even internationally. Unfortunately, this same performance metric system also impairs many athletes' performances greatly, as it adds a tremendous amount of pressure on athletes, where many athletes have felt like they're being watched under a performance microscope. And then there's the other flaw with the metric, where we've seen many athletes perform at much higher levels in their practice than in competitions. And why is that? I mean, if results metrics were so accurate, then those athletes would not be able to perform at a level that's several standard deviations higher than in practice. Well, the answer to why there's a stark contrast in performance levels resides in the athlete's mind, and more specifically, within the athlete's mindset or belief system. Let's now dive into the mindset of many underperforming athletes and compare them to one of the greatest athletes of all time. First, many athletes are taught that competition is the enemy. This means that there can only be one winner and the rest are losers or failures. However true this may be on paper, it does not help the athlete's performance, as it creates what's called a scarcity mindset. A scarcity mindset can be seen among many athletes who often compare themselves to the competition. You may hear athletes saying things like, "Coach likes her performance better because she has a better game than me," or "He's much better in this area of the sport than I am." These type of thoughts lead to fears, which in many cases paralyze the athlete's performances under pressure. Now, I use the term paralyze in a non-literal sense, but what it really means is that it often makes athletes more nervous. They then compete fearfully, which often appears stiff and tight. This performance behavior is often displayed in competition, by seeing the athlete make unusual mistakes that he or she does not make in practice. So, instead of perceiving the competition as the enemy, it's actually better to see the competition as helpful and necessary. Now, I know this may go against what you were taught as an athlete, so hear me out first. But before hearing me out, if you haven't already, please like the video, as it greatly helps out the channel. And if you want to continue improving your mental toughness, please subscribe to the channel as I release new mental toughness tips every week. Okay, so let's now continue with why seeing competition as helpful and necessary improves performance. First, seeing competition as helpful and necessary removes the scarcity mindset. Instead of seeing your competition as the enemy and trying to avoid losing, you're now staying with your competition and feeding off of his or her great performance. This leads to an even more extreme mindset. Cheer on your competition. That's right, cheer on your competition. Now, of course, I don't mean for you to cheer on your competition in the literal sense, but what that means is that you want your competition to perform well. Now, why is this? It's because when you genuinely want your competition to perform well, it will make you look forward to having to perform at your full potential. Remember, the only way you truly get better is if your brain goes through a period of struggling. If your competition is playing well, then that can elevate your performance to also perform well. This synergistic approach will not only improve your performance, but also bring back the joy back into competition, therefore reducing a lot of the fear. Also, this mentality is even more helpful if you know you have a lot of talent and you're only performing at a fraction of your full potential. Because if your opponent is playing better and you want him or her to do so, then your mind will be free enough to allow your training to take over. Let's take a great example from one of the greatest athletes of all time, Michael Jordan. During a press conference after Michael Jordan helped the Bulls win another championship, he was asked by a reporter if he believed that his most recent NBA championship helped solidify him as the greatest of all time. The reporter even mentioned basketball legends such as Magic Johnson, Larry Bird, Bill Russell, and Wilt Chamberlain. Now, when Michael Jordan responded to his question, he made it clear that he wanted no part of saying yes, as his mindset was aligned with seeing his competition not as adversaries, but instead as, in his own words, artists. Michael said, "All the guys before me were the artists of this game of basketball, and we've all learned from them, and to say that one improvement is better than all of it is an unfair assessment." Now, although this mentality speaks more about his beliefs on who's the greatest of all time, it also says a lot about how Michael Jordan saw the game of basketball. To him, just like many greats, they saw the game as artwork, where every athlete has their own brush and is contributing to creating a masterpiece. With this shift in your mindset, you'll now be able to base success not off of wins and losses, but instead off of great experiences. The more you welcome your opponent to perform well, the greater and more productive your experiences will be. And this is one of the key components to getting over the fear of losing. So, I hope you enjoyed this video and gathered some great insight on the mindset of your competition. To learn a much more complete version of how to overcome your fears, make sure to check out the company website below. Also, if you haven't, please make sure to like the video. By you just simply hitting the like button, it will make sure that I will be able to provide great content to help continue to improve your mental game. Also, if you haven't already, please subscribe to the channel, as I'll be releasing more content every week. And lastly, if you listen to podcasts, then make sure to hop over to your podcast channel and subscribe to the SPMI podcast. I also release new content every week there as well. So, thank you so much for watching. I wish everyone all the best on their mental toughness journey, and until next time.